upon everything, from everywhere he gets, the law minister gets the clean chit, then he will send it to the Prime Minister of India, and the Prime Minister will then request the chief to the President of India ultimately, where from what is known as warrant. When I heard the name for the first time, I was little surprised as to warrant. We could hear warrant as contemplated under Section 70 onwards of the procedure code. You issue a warrant of arrest, the arrested, warrant is cancelled, etc., etc. But this is also called warrant. So if a judge is to be appointed, say, if Suja Kantawala has the President of India as a purely judge of the High Court of Bombay, then the Chief Justice, the President of India will then issue what is known as his presidential order, which is in the form of a warrant. So the warrant in the name of the concerned lawyer, elevating him to as a judge of the High Court concerned. So this is the normal procedure. Now, so far as the political interference is concerned, all of many of us are quite senior, and who would be watching this later on. Political interference in the Indian judiciary is not something which is new. And according to Mr. VT, the late VT Balavalkar, one of the finest lawyers I have come across in my life, and from whom I have learned a lot. He was himself a judge. He was maternal uncle of Justice Ranjana Desai, who was a judge in the City Civil Court of Bombay. Of course, he had to resign on certain differences. But nevertheless, he told me that it is Indira Gandhi who brought in the politics for the first time, where we could notably see political interference in the matters of appointment, transfer, promotion, demotion of judges in the judiciary. And then, ever since then, things have reached to such a stage where possibly we see such interference very, very common, extremely common. It is not uncommon, but it is extremely common. And then the judges are also appointed uh, on the basis of political interference. Because since they have a say in the matter of appointing of judges, for example, if the law minister, if the justice sends his recommendation or the recommendation of the collegium to the law ministry, this is where the politicians then starts playing their role. Now it is for the law minister or the law ministry or the Ministry of Justice, as it may be, to stall the name or not to clear the names. And therefore, in the recent past also, we have seen the judiciary and as well as the government were at some stage were found to be at the loggerhead so far as recommending some of the names are concerned, and therefore some of the names were dropped. Names were again sent for consideration and again rejected, again sent for consideration. Things went on, and ultimately the government in few cases even decided not to consider those names which were recommended by the collegium. Now, so far as you will be surprised to know, I would not like to name, but it is always necessary unless and until I give you examples of the political interference. I think the viewers will not be in a position to envisage the kind of political interference we have in our system. I'll give you a small example, and I don't mind. The person has retired as a senior judge of the Bombay High Court, now practicing. Now, Deve Gowda, when he became Prime Minister, so this gentleman, related to him, a lawyer practicing, he never practiced in the High Court. At least I had never seen him. So the lawyer concerned went to meet Deve Gowda, and told him that I am interested in becoming the government pleader of the High Court. That means government pleader of the original side of the High Court. He said, what are you talking? Why you want to become common pleader? I think Sujay is smiling. He would perhaps know to whom I'm referring to. And I'm not bothered about even naming him if time comes. Now he says, why do you bother? Why do you bother? Why you want to become common pleader? I'm making you a judge of the High Court. And then believe me, you may feel that this is a storytelling, this is a fairy tale, but the fact remains that the person concerned who had no appearances in the High Court and would practice normally in subordinate courts becomes the judge of the High Court and retires from the Bombay High Court itself as a senior judge. Ultimately, a sitting judge of the Bombay High Court, I'll tell you and give you another example. A sitting judge of the Bombay High Court, a fairly senior judge now. Now, her case was thought fit for elevation because her mother would play table tennis with the former president or then president of India. So they were friends. And therefore, I'll give you one more example. We have had a judge, we have had a chief minister in this state of Maharashtra. And there were serious corruption charges as against him. And I think he was the first chief minister as against whom there was such a serious corruption charges. He had to ultimately resign, had to face prosecution. The matter at the stage of framing of the charge itself, and even before framing of the charges, the evidence were recorded, which evidence went on to the extent of 1200 pages. And 43 or 47 witnesses were examined. And then the proceedings, a judge, the Supreme Court Constitution bench said, okay, doesn't matter, we don't want trial by the Sessions Court, let us have the trial straightway by the High Court of Bombay. So Justice D.N. Mehta then was appointed as a judge to try the chief minister. Now, after, it's a warrant tribal cases. So what happens is there is an evidence recorded before framing of charges. So at that point of time, whether the charges are required to be framed or otherwise, and who conducts a trial? None other than Ram Jethmalani conducts the trial on behalf of the prosecution. So it went on 1200 and odd pages of evidence were recorded. And ultimately, when the matter in other proceedings went before 9 judges bench, the 9 judges bench said that no, the 7 judges bench was wrong, and you can't really have this. You cannot deprive of an accused one forum of appeal, because ultimately, if an accused was to be tried under a particular statute by the Court of Sessions, and if it's tried by the Court of High Court, he loses one opportunity of filing an appeal. As you know, it is, and the Supreme Court, it is only SLP. It's a special leave petition, which is also known as special luck petition. Many of you who have had the taste of appearing in the Supreme Court would agree with me that I have been going to the Supreme Court for 20 years, and let the judges know also, and I'm going to speak at top of my voice in different forums. The lawyer doesn't reach to the place where from he's supposed to address, and he finds that his matter is dismissed. The normal time, the usual time of deciding the matters in the Supreme Court is 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes, the matters are dismissed. So this is how, and this is also one of the areas where I think we should discuss in some other forum. So ultimately, the Supreme Court said that no, this is wrong, and therefore whatever has gone, whatever has the exercise undertaken of recording 1200 pages of this evidence in the CM, and I would name him the CM was none other than A.R. Antule, Abdul Rahman Antule. So the Supreme Court says that doesn't matter, even if so what, if it is recorded 1200 pages of evidence recorded, everything is quashed, set aside, matter is remitted back to the Sessions Court, and then ultimately the trial went on once again de novo, because and whatever had happened during those days of 1200 pages of recording of evidence, one who practices in the trial court would know how much time does it take to record evidence. So everything has gone haywire. Now that judge, that chief minister, before he had to resign, or even after his resignation, he was so powerful that to my knowledge, I would not know to how many other people to whom he was instrumental in appointing, but he appointed two persons as judges of the High Court of Bombay. One is his own son-in-law, who is a sitting judge of the Bombay High Court and one of the senior most judges of the Bombay High Court. And the other one was his own sadhu, co-brother. At least I know of two people to whom he was instrumental in appointing. Now, this is how the appointment takes place. You would be surprised to know, when I was to speak on the subject and I was doing some kind of a research, which I normally would like to do, 90% appointees who are direct appointees, there are hardly anyone who are directly elevated to the Supreme Court as a judge. I think, if I mistake not, now of course we have got two or three, but before that Justice Santosh Hegde was the one who was directly appointed, and before that, if I mistake not, Justice Singh from Punjab and Haryana was the one who was instrumental in many PILs concerning environment.
Kuldeep Singh.
Yes, you're right. Kuldeep Singh.
Because of Rajiv Gandhi.
Yes. Acha, okay. So Kuldeep Singh was, I wouldn't know that story. So, this is how politics play a very important role in elevation of judges in the High Court. See what happens, and then you'll be surprised to know that 90%, subject to corrections and subject to proper data being available in the field, 90% of the appointees today in the higher judiciary, I'm informed, are either kith or kins of the judges, their close relatives, or have been recommended by their seniors who were Attorney General, Solicitor General, or holding such high positions. 90% of them. So therefore, what the 10% may be perhaps the one who have traveled right from the court of the magistrate or from the court of the sessions to the High Court, or from the High Court to the higher judiciary. So this is the sorry state of affair. This is how, and what is the system that we have been following for almost 30 years, Sanjeev? I think you would agree. For more than 30 years, we have this collegium system, which in my assessment has
28 years, 92 onwards.
92 onwards. So this has completely, according in my assessment, it has completely failed. And therefore, with a view to change this, the present government in power rightly brought to the statute book, what is the name? The act called NJAC, National Judicial Accountability Commission Act. Now, what happened to that? Now, the judges, the Constitution Bench of the Supreme Court, the petition is filed straightway in the Supreme Court. By whom? By Supreme Court Advocates Bar Association, Advocates Association, AOR, Advocates on Record Association. So Supreme Court Advocates on Record Association files a petition. The petition is entertained. Normally petitions are thrown out on the ground that, oh, you have no locus standi. Who are you? How can you challenge? But then this petition was not only entertained, but the petition was allowed. And it is a matter of record that in 2016, by a majority decision, the NJAC Act was struck down, and we have no NJAC. I feel that we have had a lot of experiment with the collegium system, which I personally feel, or many of us will feel, or let us give it a chance. We have seen the kind of judges the system has been able to produce in the last 38 years, you said, Sanjeev?
28.
38. 28?
28 years, 92 to 2020. 28 years.
28 years is too long a time. So, see, law as such cannot be static. It has to be ever evolving. It must adapt itself to the changing scenario, changing prevailing situation. And therefore, if we have been following a system for 28 long years, and this system has at least has not given us the desired result, there is nobody can have such hesitation in saying so. So therefore, why not to give it a relook? And therefore, I feel that the present government in power must consider filing a review petition. That's one way of having the judgment rendered earlier with the bench headed by Justice Keir, or to enact a law and say that we are going to have now appointment by this way. I'm happy that Mr. Manoj Mishra, advocate on record from Supreme Court, is also with us. Manoj, I was referring to you that you people had filed the petition in the Supreme Court challenging NJAC. It was filed by Supreme Court Advocates on Record Association, and you got it struck down. So we are only discussing that how this could be restored back, and we can have at least, let us try this way. Let us try something different. If it doesn't give the desired result, maybe in 5 years, 10 years down the line, we can think of something else, because no system can be foolproof. Every system, like in a situation like this, are going to have its flaws. And we are all fallible, and therefore no system is going to be infallible as well. So there are going to be follies everywhere. All that we are required to do is to get over it, keep on trying different ways and means to serve the institution, to improvise the system or the institution. See, we may come, we may go. What is our lifespan? I will be now nearly, I'm 58 running. So for how many more years I'm going to practice? It is not going to be, see, ultimately somebody will have to take over. It's my country. It's our country. The system has to survive in this country, and we must be able to serve the country. The institution or the judiciary must be able to serve this country, and let it be served by the best of the brains possible in the country, and not by the people who are appointed, or their appointment itself is flawed. Now, please see what is going to happen. Now, someone may say that, so what? If the A or B or C judge is appointed, so what? How does it matter? It does matter. It does matter, because it all depends on the kind of justice delivery system, will depend on the person who is sitting at the place at the helm of affairs, who is going to deliver the judgment. And Anand and Sujay and Prashant, I will tell everybody, think of this. Even I, Sanjeev, even I thought very recently, and I shared with Upadhyay ji, he is not there. Just if somebody can call him up and take him on the line. See, I shared with him what is a judgment. Judgment is a perception. See, if I have certain perception in my mind, I will write judgment that way. See, if I have to write a judgment about Sujay Kantawala, whom I can see in my frame, and in the dress which he is as he is standing or sitting, I wouldn't know whether he's standing or sitting, but even if he's standing or sitting I can write about him just now. He has written, Sujay himself has written a book very recently. Sujay, can you come on the line and tell us which is the book?
Yeah, I have written a book about it's a fiction thriller about a lawyer murdering his wife.
Oh, okay.
And it has been very well received. We sold more than 8,000 copies.
Oh, good.
There is a little bit of Poxo, little bit of juvenile, lots of philosophy. And well, the cat is out of the bag. He's proved innocent. So don't ask me how. But
So you would know, you are an author. You are an author. You would know better. An author can write the way he wants.
Kalpana.
He can describe. Say, for example, if I have to write about you, I will write in a different form. I will say that, oh, Sujay is so well dressed. He looks so innocent. He looks so handsome. And look here.
But you shouldn't be saying that. Some women should be saying that.
No, I'm saying this is one way of describing Sujay Kantawala. This is how judgment is also written. If I have to write adversely about Sujay Kantawala, I says, what? Look here, look, Sujay is not well dressed to the situation, to the occasion. He is possibly wearing some t-shirt. He is not haired his brush properly. So,
Rajasthan High Court, one lawyer was, you know, that case.
I know, I've seen.
I mean, see, now that, according to me, I respectfully disagree with the judge over there. Just because a lawyer's attire doesn't suit you, or maybe he's not used to the Zoom app, that doesn't mean you deny justice to the client. So the party who has approached you.
So the issue is this, that same way as I can describe Sujay Kantawala, I can describe a facts and given situation in which I'm supposed to be delivering judgment. I think one of my friend, Jignesh Bhatt, is with me. We were traveling abroad, and I think Ailesh is also with me. So we were traveling abroad, and we were traveling for a very long time. So we three of us were sitting in a car, and he asked me about a case which I was dealing, which we all were concerned. They were his friend. So he said that what is going to happen in this case? So I told him that, look here, this can result into an acquittal. This can result into his conviction, or he could be given a benefit of doubt as well. So he says, how in the same set of facts, how three things are possible? So while traveling in the car, we have had a lot of time. I gave three judgments. Jignesh, you remember that? So I gave three judgments. I dictated three judgments. I said, look here, this is conviction, this is acquittal, and this is a midway path, giving benefit of doubt. So everything can be. So ultimately, judgment is what? A perception. So his perception will depend on the school of thoughts or the background from which he has been chosen from. Say if he has been chosen from one particular school of thought, invariably, we have had a law minister. Of course, he is not alive, but I'm sure many of you would agree that Hansraj Bhardwaj, when he was a law minister, I'm informed that he had virtually opened up a shop. Anyone can approach. There were rate cards for making a High Court judge, making even Solicitor General of India, additional Solicitor General of India, and even Attorney General of India. So this is how you function. And you say that you don't talk about us. This is no criticism. And even if it is criticism, I remember once Atal Bihari Vajpayee on the floor of the parliament had said in Marathi, Nindakasa ghar asave shezari. Sanjeev would remember this very well. Anand, Nindakasa ghar asave shezari. One who criticizes you, should be your neighbor. So that is how, if nobody criticizes you, nobody pinpoints to your mistake, to your follies, you will never improvise, or you think you will always take recourse to beating of chest. Oh, my judiciary. Look at my Supreme Court. Look at my High Court. No. You must think from the other perspective also. What the people of this country, what the lawyer feel about you, what they talk about you, what perception they have developed over a period of time about you. All these things are, in my assessment, are required to be addressed to by the judiciary, and therefore the criticism is necessary, and it is high time that we must discuss some of these follies which has crept into the system, our system, and has virtually destroyed the system. And you will be surprised to know, nowadays I wouldn't know which judge in the High Court is appointed purely on merits. Some senior recommends his junior. He becomes senior, of course, not by age only. Senior who is an influential senior will then recommend his junior being promoted. A judge, when he is elevated, a lawyer elevated to the High Court as a judge will recommend his junior to be a judge in the High Court. And what is this? That a judge, I was sharing with Mr. Upadhyay, I do not know why is he missing here. Sanjeev, you will be surprised to know, when he pointed out to me, what is this? That a lawyer practicing, Anand, listen to me. a lawyer practicing in, say, for example, Bombay High Court, after 15 years or 20 years of his practicing in Bombay High Court, he becomes judge in the same High Court. Now, if I am friendly to Prashant, Anand, and Sujay, and Sanjeev, and so on and so forth, many of my juniors are here. Ankita Pawar, I can see Duvendra Dwivedi, Vijaya Lakshmi Nadar, Manoj Mishra. If they appear before me, I'm ultimately a human being. Those who have been so close to me, those who have worked with me so closely, and whenever there is an exercise of discretion, it is a case of 60%, 50%. I will make 50% to 60%, at least that much I will do. It's a human nature. You may say, no, I will not do it. It's all bullshit. Don't be under the wrong impression that it's very difficult to practice. So therefore, what is this, that, and how are you going to do justice in a kind of system that you are working in, that your own junior appears before you and walks away with impossible orders, and whereas others are required to struggle. Prashant Pandey goes, I am the judge. Prashant Pandey comes before me, Lord, this is a matter where my client has been dispossessed. When has he been dispossessed? Some 1 month back. Oh, what have you been doing 1 month back? Why have you approached so late? No. You come, give notice to other side, this, that. Prashant Pandey is gone. Sanjeev Punalekar comes. I like Sanjeev Punalekar. Yes, Sanjeev Punalekar will come out with the similar facts that my client has been not dispossessed 60 days before. 60 days, 2 months before. But I have not been able to come before this court. Doesn't matter, you have come now. Wes, what do you want? The possession has to be restored. Yes, we'll see to that. Yes, maintain status quo, this, that, all sort of a thing. So be it civil, be it criminal, be it constitutional, be it matters involving high stakes, low stakes, all sort of discretions can be exercised and there is nobody to question. There's nobody to question. I think time has come and a system which has to be evolved and which could be considered seriously by the judiciary is that we must have a system of having some kind of what is known as forensic test or forensic
Actually, forensic audit. Forensic audit.
So we can have a sort of audit. If I'm a judge, on same given set of facts, I write 10 judgments of different kinds. What kind of judge I am? And there is no one to answer me, to question me. What is this? Even if I'm a judge, I must be held responsible for passing different orders on identical set of facts. Why would I pass if the law is this? If the law is well defined and there is no scope for exercising my discretion, and yet I will, in the name of exercising discretion, keep on passing orders which are different in nature, which are totally variants. A comes, different order. B comes, different order. C comes, different order. D comes, different orders. Why? Or if Anand Patwardhan comes to me, Anand Patwardhan gets all A order. Prashant comes, he gets only B category of orders. Sujay Kantawala gets away with only C category, and Vijaya Lakshmi Nadar comes, she gets only D category of orders. Now, why? Why that should happen? See, the law is this, and the very edifice on which possibly we are supposed to be functioning, though we are not functioning, is that there has to be consistency in the matter of judicial pronouncements or decisions. Maybe at the final stage or interim stage, there has to be consistency. The judgment cannot, or orders cannot lack consistency, which is consistently lacking. So therefore, that is required to be addressed to, and if a judge is found to be erring, repeatedly with complete impunity, then not only he is required to be questioned, but action has to be taken. If a judge, a particular judge, passes order on identical set of facts, different orders. Say, for example, if it is a matter of bail, there are parameters for grant of bail. And if you don't grant bail to, or you grant rather bail only to A category of lawyers or B category of lawyers with the exclusion of C, D, E, F, I think C, D, E, F must be in a position to question you as to why, what is so different about A and B. See, I tell you what the problem is. The problem lies with the highest court of the country, with the Supreme Court of India. Since I have practiced from the court of the magistrate right up to the Supreme Court, and I go so often in the Supreme Court of India, I should be in a position to tell you that the problem lies there. Say, for example, now the law on anticipatory bail or bail in Sanjay Chandra's case. Now the Supreme Court has decided what are going to be the parameters for grant of bail or if those parameters are not followed by the High Court. The problem is with the Supreme Court that the Supreme Court doesn't go into that aspect of it, that whether our own order or the orders which are passed by the highest court of the country has been followed by the High Court in its letter and spirit or otherwise. And if it is not followed on that ground alone, notice has to be issued in SLP. But that seldom happens. And the matters are dismissed at the very outset, at the very beginning. And then these judges get emboldened that, look here, I have passed an order and nothing happened to the Supreme Court. And they feel, I mean, I'm surprised to know, though it is not the law of the land, that if a SLP arising out of an order, say for example, if Bombay High Court passes an order and that order is challenged in the Supreme Court of India, and the Supreme Court then doesn't entertain the SLP and dismisses it at the threshold, that doesn't mean that's a seal of approval of the judgment or order passed by the High Court. There are n number of judgments, but yet the High Court would invariably say that, yes, my order has been upheld. No, your order has not been upheld. The Supreme Court, it doesn't exercise power of appeal. It exercises special leave petition. You may have, the Supreme Court has invariably say that you may have an excellent case, but if you don't find it to be worth exercising, but that is also, according to me, wrong. It's a wrong practice which has crept in. If an order is wrong, injustice has been caused to one person. Why injustice should be caused even to one person? And why would you not entertain a petition under Article 136 of the Constitution of India? This is broadly, I feel, are the areas. I think we can keep on speaking on the subject, but there is no end to it. And one of the important areas which I forgot to mention, is the transfer policy. There are at least 2 decisions of the Constitution bench of the Apex Court, which has taken a view that 2/3 judges in the High Court would be transferred, would be from different High Courts. What is happening? Those 2 judgments of the Supreme Court Constitution bench itself is gathering dust today. Nobody is implementing. So if you have, for example, if you have complaints against A, B, or C judge, I'm not saying that, see, there are bound to be complaints against judges. It is, if any of us would have been judges sitting in the High Court or Supreme Court, we would also have had the same fate. You can't satisfy everyone, but if there are serious charges which can be substantiated based on the diametrically opposite decisions rendered by the same judge, then it could be subjected to scrutiny. And if there are large number of complaints with which a particular judge is flooded with, or as against whom there are a number of complaints, then the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court must take a decision of transferring him at least to, or him or her to other high court at least, or at least transfer him or her to other bench at least. To start with that, the chief justice of that high court can at least do it. Say, for example, Bombay High Court. Bombay High Court has benches at Aurangabad. The principal bench, of course, is at Mumbai, but the other benches are at Goa, Aurangabad, and Nagpur. So if a judge has formed a coterie or a syndicate, which has also been taken note of by the Supreme Court itself. Hello, am I audible?
Yes, yes.
So if to which the Supreme Court itself has taken cognizance of, that such coteries and syndicates are formed by the judges by virtue of they being in one particular place for a long period of time. So therefore, if that happens and there are n number of complaints, then the judge concerned can be at least transferred, and that decision can be taken by the concerned Chief Justice of the High Court, that High Court. If there are benches, of course, if there are no benches, then it's a different story altogether. But for example, big states like Maharashtra, or at least Allahabad, where we have Rajasthan, we have benches. Chennai, we have Chennai. Do we have branch? Madurai bench. So we have benches like this. So if a judge has formed a coterie at a place, he can always be considered to be transferred to place B or C. Or if it is found that he is not going to stop there also, then one has to be transferred to a different state, which has happened with a judge concerned very recently, our own Bombay High Court. He has been transferred to Kerala and transferred for good. Of course, he was a good friend of mine. But then, see, when I'm here, I have to be impartial. Unless until you have called upon me to speak on the subject, unless until I speak which I feel is the truth, the system is not going to change. How are you going to change the system? The system must change, and change for good. Otherwise, we are going to continue in the same manner. I think, Prashant, I wouldn't know whether I have exceeded my time or I have to.
Let us.
But then
You have not. Let us take few questions. In fact, there is a few important or rather interesting questions which I have. One question which is very intriguing is for the post of a peon in a BMC. You have a written exam.
Yes.
But for a post of a High Court judge, there is no written exam. Why is that? Sanjeev ji is laughing.
It is of course a very serious matter. It is of course a very, very serious matter. I remember my father would question me the same thing. He would tell me कि हिंदुस्तान में एक चपरासी की नियुक्ति करने के समय उसके एजुकेशनल क्वालिफिकेशन को पूछा जाता है कि आपको एक पर्टिकुलर हाइट होनी चाहिए, आपका उतना वेट होना चाहिए, आपकी क्वालिफिकेशन होनी चाहिए, आपको रिटन शायद एग्जाम भी पास करना पड़ेगा. लेकिन इस देश में प्रधानमंत्री बनने के लिए या किसी भी मंत्री को बनने के लिए इस तरह की किसी भी क्वालिफिकेशन की आवश्यकता नहीं है इस देश में. Yes, the time has come. The same analogy applies here also. You're right, Prashant. This is a question which the present government.
In fact, I will interfere here. At least in politics or in the legislative, you have an option of removing them after 5 years. Here the situation is exactly opposite. 500 parliamentarians make a law and 2 judges overturn it. But if one judge has to be removed, it requires 500 parliamentarians to remove that person.
You're right. See, as I've told you in the beginning that we have no system. We have no system in place. We have no law in place by which appointment to the judiciary can take place. So we follow as of now what is known as judges, which I have mentioned you in the earlier. It is called. They have made some in-house rules called memorandum showing procedure. for appointment and transfer of chief justices and judges of High Court. But there is no law which governs their appointment and which is the gray area. And therefore, in my opinion, and therefore what is happening, the judges are appointing themselves. The judges are appointing judges without being answerable or without being transparent. It lacks transparency and they are answerable to none. For example, if we have had proceedings initiated against Dinakaran, Justice Dinakaran of I think it's Karnataka High Court judge. Yeah, P.D. Dinakaran. Yeah, P.D. Dinakaran was one of the judges as against whom there were serious 12 cases, Prashant,
12
of corruption, 12 serious cases of corruption in which he was found to be entangled with. And therefore, the proceedings were initiated against him. Ultimately, he had to resign instead of action being taken against him. But what happens? Nobody questions as to who were the people who were responsible for appointment of a judge like him. Now, how many P.D. Dinakarans we have today in our judicial system today, as on today? I think there are many. But in how many cases action has been taken? Nothing happens. You keep on filing complaints after complaints and nothing happens to them. Your complaints will be brushed under the carpet and it will not be taken cognizance of. And unfortunately, you cannot question anyone as to what happened to my complaint. And even if you ask them, question them, nothing will happen to that also. Sanjeev would agree with me.
Second question. I'll quickly ask few questions and then maybe ask others. Second question: is impeachment virtually teethless in the country of India?
Impeachment, I'm sorry, what is the question?
Is impeachment virtually teethless in a country like India?
See, I tell you, in our entire history of judiciary, there are only 4 or 5 instances where impeachment proceedings so far has been initiated against a judge. One judge, V.K. Ramaswamy. Justice V. Ramaswamy was the only judge of the Supreme Court as against whom the impeachment proceedings were initiated. But that impeachment proceeding was ultimately failed. And it failed because of the then Jayalalitha being at the helm of affairs in the state of Tamil Nadu, where from this Vijaya Lakshmi Nadar, who is sharing with us, comes from. She was the one. See, then it was made possibly at that point of a time an issue of North versus North versus South, and then it failed. So impeachment certainly is not, you required 2/3 majority of member of parliaments to impeach a judge of a high court. And similar the situation so far as the high court judge is concerned. So impeachment is certainly not the solution. Time has come when these judges are required to be made accountable to the people at large, and for that, and very effective legislation has to be brought to the statute book so that they become answerable and they have the fear of law. Those who are seeking to enforce law, or rather those who are the protectors of law, those who teach us how the law is to be interpreted, must also be told that you are also bound by law.
I'll quickly take the third question, which is very interesting question. The question is this: in politics, contemporaries can make allegations. Like, for example, right now Congress is not in power, so it can say Chaukidar chor hai. But in judiciary, the contemporary is lawyers. Lawyers cannot say the same.
Because Prashant, the answer to that is lawyers are governed by what is known as Contempt of Courts Act. There is no such Contempt of Courts Act for those politicians. So long as they are not governed and we are governed, we are going to face the music.
Yes.
And look at, then again I said, what is this contempt? Contempt Act is too small. It runs into about 20, 25 sections. I don't think more than that.
Yes.
20 sections must be. A small book on contempt of court acts which controls the contempt proceedings. But, am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible.
So therefore, and there is no law so far as these judges are concerned. There is no enactment. And these laws are the judgments, if you see on the contempt, in the recent past. Earlier judges prior to 1980 judgments on contempt, when we have had judges like Krishna Iyer or Vivian Bose and others, so many others, Gajendra Gadkar. The law was interpreted in favor of the contemner. But now if you see, the recent development is that the law is tweeted or molded as against the contemner, and no stone is left unturned to ensure that the one who commits contempt or alleged to have committed contempt is sent to jail.
There is one more question by Darshit Jain. Darshit, if you can unmute yourself and ask the question.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
My question is, sir, since the Supreme Court has voluntarily excluded itself from the definition of state under Article 12, so doesn't it make contrary to the theory of checks and balances, and it gives ultimate power to the Supreme Court or all the courts to act arbitrarily, and there is no check on them as well? So what don't you think there has to be some regulation made to keep check on the judiciary itself?
Your questions are too loaded. I'll try to answer you. See, we have got our system is based on the edifice of three pillars of democracy: the legislature, the executive, and the judiciary. But unfortunately, our judiciary in the past 2 or 3 decades, maybe three decades, has been slowly and steadily encroaching upon the field which are supposed to be occupied by the legislature and the executive, while claiming to exercise powers under Article 141 of the Constitution, because they are the one who decides what should be the interpretation of law. So long as they keep on interpreting law which out and out favors them, we are going to be faced with this situation. Yes, you're right. The situation is there, but then we have seen that judiciary has been steadily encroaching on the other areas which are not supposed to be in their domain.
So one more question which I have written. This is in regards with, which is a very famous case, ADM Jabalpur. No Indian judiciary will be incomplete if we do not discuss ADM Jabalpur. Now, favoring the government, so you become a favorable judge. If you do not favor the government, you will be superseded. And there are instances where the norm is you appoint a judge at age of 45. I think there are 3 judges who did not get appointed at the age of 45. One is Justice P.N. Bhagwati, Y.V. Chandrachud, D.Y. Chandrachud. This is as of now the data. Only if you favor a government, you will be allowed to continue in the judiciary. If you do not, you will be forced to resign.
Prashant, when I told you that Mr. V.T. Valavalkar, the late V.T. Valavalkar, and Ananda and Sujay, I think you must all be knowing at least. Sanjeev, you must have also met him, I suppose. V.T. Valavalkar. When he told me that Indira Gandhi was the first who brought in politics into the judiciary, the institution which was not even, according to him, was not even touched by the British, so long as they were under control, or even by the first Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru. But she was the one who exercised her powers to crush the judiciary and bring in I think if I mistake not, it all started with the resignation of when judge like, what an excellent judge he was, Justice H.R. Khanna. When he was the one who was superseded, and then ultimately, if I mistake not, Justice Y.V. Chandrachud was the one who was brought in, and because of that supersession, he became the longest serving Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of India.
7 years.
Subject to correction, the figure of the names must be here and there, but that was the time when Justice H.R. Khanna had to ultimately resign because he was sought to be superseded by his junior judges. From that time onwards, we have seen that things have traveled from bad to worst. And there has been a lot of interference by the politicians or by the government in power. Barring some period when really, or the period of when the government, see, I tell you how it happens. Whenever the government in power is weak, the judiciary tries to overpower that, and vice versa. So this tug of war will possibly go on for some more time, till the time our Parliament decides to enact a law, and they must think that they are not enacting law for themselves or for a particular political party in power. They would be enacting law for the very survival of the system in this country for many, many more years to come. Even if all of us are not here, there would be somebody, our children, grandchildren, and thereafter the generation next would be there.
In fact, I recollect.
And so far as the appointment of at young age is concerned, let me tell you, in the book which is available, and when Justice D.Y. Chandrachud, who is going to be elevated one day as a Chief Justice of India, when he was to be appointed as the judge of the High Court, Bombay High Court, at the age of 42, if I mistake not, Prashant?
40.
40.
Yes,
40.
So 40. So the unwritten law is this, or the rule says this, that the judge has to be of 45 for being considered to be elevated as a judge of the High Court. So, but he was 5 years less than 45 years, and that time, Justice S.C. Dharmadhikari's father, Justice B.P. Dharmadhikari, was a sitting judge of the Bombay High Court. And he opposed tooth and nail appointment of Justice D.Y. Chandrachud, that he should not be elevated. He doesn't fit into that. But still, of course, he was, and then the then president, it is written in some book, I wouldn't know who authored it, but the then president withheld his promotion, withheld his elevation. So he was then approached by some politician and was persuaded to clear his name, and that is how his name was cleared. So we find political interference or political say or political influence every walks of our legal system.
In fact, just to add one line to this, where in regards with ADM Jabalpur, Justice H.R. Khanna, who had actually penned down doctrine of fundamental right in Keshwanand Bharti, also was the only dissenting in ADM Jabalpur. So he had to face the heat from Keshwanand Bharti and subsequently in ADM Jabalpur.
Correct. And what a fantastic judge he was. I remember one of his judgment, which I quite often quote. It is Thulia Kali versus State of Tamil Nadu, 1976 judgment of the Supreme Court, authored by Justice H.R. Khanna. Read, he gives importance, and what a fantastic idea. Now if we read his judgment, oh, so what? But think of when he must have conceived this idea for the first time, to pen it down, that what is the importance of prompt lodging of first information report. So he narrates, he gives that why the first information report has to be promptly lodged. And the reasons which he gave is that the delay results in deliberations. it leads to deliberations and discussions, and then afterthought, and then embellishment or false implication of innocence or those who must not have been involved even in commission of the offense. So therefore, it lacks promptness. So that was the first judgment, and what a wonderful judge he was. Yes, you're right.
Sir, maybe last question from my side.
I think he had to resign. He had to resign during that regime.
My last question from my side. 2035. What do you think will be the face of judiciary or the way how appointment of judges will happen?
2035.
35.
Prashant, we are living in an era of pandemic, and the kind of pandemic under which we wouldn't know. Yesterday there was a news in one of the TV channels, and which is based on some kind of a report, and which I feel must be a genuine report. According to that report, half of the population of the country, 64 crores population, possibly could be infected with the pandemic in the times to come. Now, this is the kind of figure. So you talk of time next. See, I tell you, I see that the face of the judiciary is going to drastically change, and it must change for the good also. See, who thought, did we ever think, even in wildest of our dream, just imagine 2.5 months before, that we are going to interact with each other with this kind of with an app, and with these kind of apps, I'm told the government of India has given contracts to about 4 companies to make an app which could be similar to this one. So things are going to change a lot. So 2035 is too long a time.
What I meant is how will be the future? Like NJC is struck down. Now how do you go ahead about, again, will the collegium ever go away?
It has to go. That is what I feel. Now, whether it will go away or otherwise is the time only will tell us.
Sorry to interrupt.
According to me, the Attorney General or the Solicitor General must take it to the government of India. Let this forum be used. Perhaps if we're trying to say what the perception is, what the people of this country feel, that let a petition be filed in the Supreme Court of India, and let the judgment be either reviewed, or the government can think of reviving it in a slightly different format.
May I say something, Subhashji?
Yes, please come in. Please come in.
When you were talking, there was one point which you put, is that the Supreme Court Advocates on Record Association, they had raised the issue. And if I remember the argument that time, is that Supreme Court was repeatedly asking them the Memorandum of Procedure, MOP. And the government, the Attorney General, took a very firm stand that we are not going to give. Either uphold the law or set aside the law.
Correct.
Consequently, what happened? Any suggestions which are actually in your mind also, and I am sure it is in the mind of each one of us who is participating, none of those could be incorporated, because that was a fight between executive and the judiciary, that who will dominate. In the fight, the common man's interest was not protected, and unfortunately, Supreme Court, that Bar Association, they didn't actually represent the people of India. For example, the transparency point in appointment. Suppose you want to appoint somebody, publish his name, call for the objections, let the secretariat consider all that, place it before them, make it a part of proceeding, let it remain sealed for 2 years, after 2 years, publish that. So some such thing could have happened, some accountability. Similarly, if some complaints are there, people could have directly interacted. All those things were not done. As he said, rightly said, Prashant said about examination. Leave aside examination. We have in Bombay High Court 8 or 10 judges who have not seen the CRPC at all in their life. In their colleges, they might have seen. Maybe number is more. I have given a wrong number. So there are many people who are not aware. They are handling one matter.
I just want to add, they must have not seen the CRPC, and they have been heading the bench, criminal bench. They have been hearing criminal appeals.
Yes. Now, precisely I am saying that even those criteria, that if a person has not appeared once in a criminal matter, there is no wakalatnama, once not in a civil matter, once in a writ matter, then he cannot become a judge. Some criteria could have been let down. That golden opportunity was lost. And I want you to say something on this. Is it possible? Leave aside our movement, we will give something. Lawyers will always agitate. But whether government can reopen on its own by saying that that time we didn't give, now we want to give this. Forget Collegium, because Collegium was not revisited. They said either we are upholding Collegium or we are upholding NJSC. So NJSC was striking down. Collegium as it is will continue because government is not giving us the memorandum of procedure. That's what has happened if I recollect. That is the reasoning which they are given. So whether that could have been avoided by the government, and if they have done it, can they do it now?
No, Sanjeev, if I mistake not, NJSC judgment has been struck down not only on this ground, it has been struck down on, and one of the important grounds one of the important grounds on which it has been struck down is that it undermines the supremacy or undermines the judiciary in the matter of appointment of judges. It seeks to encroach on the basic. And what happens? NJSC, by virtue of Article 217, was amended A, B, or C, if I mistake not. So those amendments were struck down. 217 still subsists, but 217 A, B, C were struck down, by virtue of which this NJSC was brought to the statute book. So they say that it is against the fundamental principles, the basic principles which cannot be encroached upon, which cannot be touched, which cannot be amended. So the government has an option, according to me, two options. One is of either filing a review and have it in the same form, or telling the government that you change the format over a period of time, that now that they have had time, about 4 years, 5 years of time they have had. So they could modify and say that, okay, it doesn't matter, you have stuck it down, we are going to change like this. And therefore this collegium system has to go away. Sooner it goes, better for the institution.
Sir, I think every lawyer who is present or practicing in any court, unless he is kith and kin, will not want collegium.
So Subhash, 2035 would be artificial intelligence only. Forget the advocates and the judges. And you have forgotten the fourth pillar of our Indian Constitution, which is media, which you are not covering. That is what makes things different right now.
No. I did not cover it deliberately, because media, so far as the media is concerned, it is included, or it is said to be the fourth pillar. It is really not the fourth pillar.
It's not
the only three. It is
No,
said,
but it is said now to be the fourth pillar, which plays a very important part in our system. What you want to put it, you can get it through media immediately, without spending any more money.
Not at all.
No, don't say
Not
that.
at all.
Don't say
Okay,
that.
I am putting this floor. Anyone has any question? Because I think we have already.
No, rather than question, I think if Sanjeev or I think Anand is there with us. Anand or Sujay, they are very senior advocates. If they want to somebody in the group.
Subhash, may I just say one thing?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, for some time I was cut off. There was some problem with my iPad.
Okay.
But today morning I was talking to a counsel in Delhi, and he said that in the last 3-4 days he has been witnessing, because he has been appearing, this kind of system, though we see that we are doing these days. Sometimes one side is not there, then the other side asks for passover. Sometimes the sound is not coming. And many matters, most unfortunate, it's the final court, are being dismissed because judges can't hear. And he told me that.
Yes.
It is so sad that in the final court, your matter is being dismissed because you have to go through manual system. See, they are not following Zoom. They are following some other archaic system.
Video.
Yes, where it goes through manual. Now, for the technical problem, can you imagine the final court of our country dismisses matters because they could not hear the lawyer? I mean, it is such a sad day for all of us to see or hear even something like that.
Sujay, last week, for example, I'll tell you, last week we had a musical concert of lawyers on this very app, on this very system. And it went on for nearly 3 hours, 45 minutes without interruption. Of course, we have had interruption from the other end, wherever the signal was not very strong. But so far as I'm concerned, I could conduct it without any interruption. Not even one small interruption I have had in nearly 4 hours that my computer was on, and I did not get even one single disconnection. Now we are talking for almost how much time now?
1.5.
Nearly 1.5 hours. In 1.5 hours, I don't think from where I'm controlling, at least I did not get disconnection. So therefore, these things are required to be. I was, before myself and Mr. Upadhyay has just come in, we were doing a matter in Delhi High Court, and we were doing matters simultaneously also in the Supreme Court. Our AOR is also on record. So what happens, the matter in both the courts reached at the same time. And so I thought of giving preference first to the Supreme Court. But you will not believe that I could see them. They could neither hear me nor they could see me. So their staff does not connect me. And last time it appeared without, I got intimation from my AOR in the evening at about 8:30 that the matter is to be argued tomorrow. And this matter was not filed. This was filed now. It was filed much before the lockdown. So I did not have the papers, nor I have it in any form. So I said, I'll have to go and pick it from my office. I'm operating from Lonavala, so I had to go all the way from there, get the papers. This time I can hear them, and blasting my lawyers that your lawyer is not there even this time. We have accommodated this time. Next time, if it doesn't come, we will dismiss it. Some orders have been passed to that effect. But this is how the system, yes, of course, it needs to.
I have seen one more trend. I think I would be the junior most in this group. I have seen one more trend, which is that lot of judges do not allow other lawyers in a same cause list, but who are not part of the same said hearing, to enter the room. This is basically getting an order in a chamber.
Correct. You're right.
Where is the concept of open court hearing in open court?
ओपन कोर्ट हियरिंग का फायदा क्या है? ओपन कोर्ट हियरिंग का फायदा ये है कि everyone is present over there. The papers are handed over to the judge. You can give tender case law to the judge. अभी VC में आप कैसे case law दोगे? Secondly, the other advantage is, as Prashant said, the other advantage is कि सुभाष की मैटर चल रही है आगे, मेरी उसके पीछे, साला मेरा तो identical point था. See, we learn so many things sitting in court. Now, here the problem is the host does not allow you, if you are serial number 4, till serial number 3 is over. Secondly, appearances. Your appearances are given by SMS or email. Those appearances don't come. They are not registered. वहाँ तो अपन slip
Mr. कांटावाला, hello.
हाँ उपाध्याय जी कहिए आप. We can hear.
ऐसा है ना कि let us be united. Let us inform the Supreme Court all these things, na. Let us object now how they are conducting all these things.
Yeah, where?
To the Supreme Court itself.
How to do it?
Supreme
It is
Court
judges again
We must
again
write
judging
letter
the
to them.
judge.
What we can go in the group. We can write in the group. We can say that we will not allow this kind of functioning. Just see, we are responsible for all these kind of things. We are not doing anything. Let us do something substantial. Everything can be changed.
Upadhyay ji, I agree with you that, but the CJI himself has said that till the near future. Now, till the near future is a very omnibus kind of a thing. Till the near future, there will be no open court hearings. Not even 10 a day, not even 15 a day. You will not believe it. Let me just complete that counsel you talked to me said you create a glass in front, partition. आप partition लगा लो और जिसकी मैटर है उसी को एंट्री मिलेगी and maybe one per party client per matter. जैसे उसकी मैटर खत्म होगी दूसरा आएगा अंदर. Keep at least 15-20 matters a day. At least start. आप glass partition लगा दो बेकार. And therefore Supreme Court में that kind of communication of the virus will not be there if there's a wall and if there is only one lawyer. Acha, the lawyers who are next in line, next five matters can wait. Others can wait in the waiting room or in their cars. They have got car parking lot. See, all these suggestions are there. Lawyers have been giving these suggestions. but the problem is that they have to be effectively implemented.
Just see, even I have addressed a letter. Even I have addressed a letter, very beautiful letter.
अभी मैं बॉम्बे हाई कोर्ट में आपको बात बता रहा हूँ. Why we need so many people moving around in the Bombay High Court? आप देखो तो कई फिरंगी टूरिस्ट घूम रहे हैं हमारे हाई कोर्ट में. हेरिटेज स्ट्रक्चर है भैया, हम देखने आ गए. Now some system will have to be created by which maybe one of your client with one lawyer. यहाँ पे तो लगा तो जैसे पूरा जैसे 15-20 लोग देखने आ गए हियरिंग. See, all those things will have to streamline someday or the other.
Yeah, I tell you something. I think Upadhyay ji was with me. We went to meet the Chief Justice, and that time she was Manjula Chellur, was the Chief Justice.
Correct.
So when we discussed about this issue of restricting the entry of litigants, I said that look here, what is happening, and you find nowadays at least there is some place written that it is for advocates, for litigants. Now, in our High Court, otherwise, I have complained many times that
Earlier it was not there. Earlier it was not there like
it
this.
is not there. So I've complained many times that look here, let the seats be kept for a few seats kept for lawyers. We are required to have read papers. We are required to sit.
Even today, many times we fight with the litigants.
What she told me.
भैया मैं आपको कोर्टरूम 40 का बात बता रहा हूँ. सुभाष, how many times वो लाइन मालूम है बाहर तक लगती थी, मेंशनिंग की लाइन.
Correct.
बाहर तक मतलब फ्रॉम डायस टिल दरवाजा आउटसाइड.
Correct.
और दोनों साइड पे लगती थी लाइन, दोनों साइड पे. See, so something will have to be devised. Our new Chief Justice who has come has said that life is more important. Till then, video conference will go on. Fair enough. But till how long? You can't have this kind of a system to go on perpetual. So therefore, I have to devise a system by which where we have only maybe 15, 20, 30 matters, or maybe some kind of slot system, and some kind of a visit. जो visitors आते हैं, clients आते हैं, उनके बारे में भी some kind of rationing will have to be done. Because now nobody knew that this corona is going to come. So
what I'm suggesting, even otherwise, why this kind of mentioning system? Why there should not be a system that all the matters should be listed on second or third as a matter of course. Then the court may decide the matter whether there is urgency, whether relief can be granted, or it can be urgent. Many things can be done by the court. But why this mentioning system?
You will have 200 to 300 CPs a day.
Upadhyay ji, there is a system, but which is not they are following. System is that within the 5 days,
there are many courts. There are
the
many
matter will be
courts in the
listed.
country. Yes, there are many high courts in the country where there is no
I
such
think
system.
I think this will go on. This will go on for many hours. if there are
Prashant, may I say something
Yes, see,
in a
in
minute?
this regard,
Prashant, may I say?
yeah, go ahead. Kunalekar ji.
Yes, see, in this, Mr. Pandey, Mr. Pandey, gentlemen, in this regard, we means I, Jha sir, Mr. Punalekar, we all had meeting with this earlier Chief Justice. What was his name? This who just retired, right? This one.
Nandaraju.
And he brought all the difficulties to his notice. Even we have addressed letter to him. He agreed, but thereafter he did not implement it. He agreed.
कोरोना के बाद करना ही पड़ेगा. कोरोना के बाद implement करना ही पड़ेगा.
आपको बता रहा हूँ आप लोगों
What I want to say, Upadhyay ji, कह रहे हैं.
Kunalekar also.
शांत.
कुणालेकर जी सुनिए.
हाँ बोलिए.
मैं आप लोगों को प्रॉमिस करता हूँ, मैं इसमें आप लोगों बहुत लोगों से मैं जूनियर हो सकता हूँ, जैसे जहाँ सर हो गए, बहुत लोग शायद मिस्टर कांटा वाले से मैं जूनियर होऊंगा, लेकिन अगर आप लोग हमारे साथ में रहिए, सब लोग रहिए, साथ बता रहा हूँ, मैं अकेले जिम्मेदारी तो सिस्टम को मैं सुधार के छोड़ूंगा, अकेले दम पे बता रहा हूँ, लेकिन आप लोग साथ में रहिए. इनके बाप को भी सुनना पड़ेगा, हम कुछ कहेंगे तो हम कुछ गलत कहीं नहीं रहे.
सर बाप.
We are doing something for the betterment of the system.
जोश बरकरार है.
अरे जोश नहीं, जोश तो रहना ही पड़ेगा.
उपाध्याय जी हम साथ में हैं, आपके साथ में. शांत हो जाइए.
अरे सुनिए, शांत क्या घंटा शांत रहेंगे यहाँ आग
प्रभु
लिसन टू मी.
ये रिकॉर्डिंग हो रहा है.
सुनिए,
मुझे जो कहना ही है. I want to say something.
सुनिए जसवंत, सुनिए आप
बोल लीजिए.
देखिए बता रहा हूँ आपको, एक जो मेंशनिंग सिस्टम है ना, वकील है. एक दिन मैं गया था डेरे के पास में, 3 लेयर्स लगा था मेंशनिंग का भिखारियों की तरह. अरे दिस कंडीशन ऑफ द लॉयर. जैसे भिखारी आते कटोरा के खड़े हैं भीख मांगने के लिए लाइन में, जैसे जेल में कैदी होते हैं खाना खाने के लिए, ये वकीलों की इज्जत है. Why this kind of things, भाई? और जितने जज है उतना मेंटेनिंग का सिस्टम, कोई 3 बजे लेगा, कोई 4 बजे लेगा, कोई 11 बजे लेगा, कोई प्रेसिपी लेगा, कोई जाके मेंशन करे, क्या सिस्टम है भाई? पहले भी हाई कोर्ट फंक्शन नहीं करती थी, हाई कोर्ट पहले बॉम्बे हाई कोर्ट फंक्शन नहीं करती थी, इससे बढ़िया फंक्शन करती थी। मतलब यहाँ पे जितने जजेज हैं सबका अपने आप में सबका प्रोसीजर हो गया है।
प्राइम मिनिस्टर बन जाइए, प्राइम मिनिस्टर उपाध्याय साहब,
all should be bound by a single
I think एक
प्राइम मिनिस्टर बनिए।
नया वेबिनार उसके लिए करना पड़ेगा। उपाध्याय जी,
Good evening, gentlemen. Can I interfere for a second, please, if you don't mind? I have a doubt. We were discussing for quite some time, more than an hour.
उपाध्याय साहब, आप बनिए चीफ मिनिस्टर या प्राइम मिनिस्टर।
Good evening, gentlemen. We were discussing this problem for more than an hour, and I was actually expecting some solutions, just like the story of who is going to bell the cat.
yes.
Now, so many discussions, the points were raised. For example, the partiality of the judges while they give a judgment. If you know somebody, naturally, that judgment will be in favor of that particular person. So that human problem, that is an inborn quality in many human beings, and you cannot delete it. So the only thing to do that is appointing a supercomputer as judges, which is not going to happen. But one of the solutions, the basic thing, what happened for even addressing the lordships as my lord, I think Advocate Tiwari brought this way back in 1972, for which also there is no answer, there is no judgment. So still we are following the old British system of addressing my lord. But actually the correct way to address a lady is then my lady. But nobody is addressing a my lady because it will be interpreted in a different way. That is one of the things. Now coming to the judges appointment and the collegium system. Is this particular system or the problem existing only in the judiciary? What about the police chief of a state? What about other appointments? Except for the defense forces, even there is a problem. Whoever is very loyal to the government, they are taking the positions. They are appointed in key positions so that the government's rules and regulations can be implemented according to their whimsy and fancy. So judiciary is not the only place. You have to start right from lower KG. That is a place where a student starts. Our dharma and satya, which we taught by the forefathers taught, it is eradicated. So we don't have a system. Whoever has got the influence, they are ruling the society, just like you said about the politician, their qualification. So there is an inherent problem.
So
right from the childhood, we have to begin.
A screen.
You cannot stop at one particular aspect and correct the system. The correction is needed from the very childhood. Each and every one, every individual. If you go to a government office, if you pay 100 rupees, if you will get a certificate before others, you will pay 100 rupees. If you go to the village office to get a certificate, you want to run the queue, you are not ready to wait, you want to get your things done before others, you will pay the bribe. Is it not corruption? Every individual is corrupt. Unless and until that mentality changes, the whole country is going to be like this.
What I want to say is this.
What is the question?
The question is this. Some of us have discussed the procedures. We are not on procedures. Basically, we are reforms, how to remove the double standards. Now, Upadhyay went to straight away the solutions. The discussion is how do we bring it about? For example, I have seen Malegaon blast 2008, I was appearing. Recently, 2 years back, not 2 years, 1 year back, one of the judges who is known as the most upright judge and transferred to Karnataka High Court as the Chief Justice, he gave a lot of sermon in the court. What for the trial court is not conducting trial, 11 years are over, and see the position, extraneous factors are working. Whatever may happen, trial court must go by the statute. And it must have conducted the trial and completed that. Where is the stay order? He kept on asking NIA, he blamed even the accused advocate. I tried to interrupt, I was not allowed to say. 2011, I had filed a petition, that is 8 years back. 8 years back. Same judge, same bench, another junior judge was there. Order was passed that considering complexities of Malegaon blast, the order of conducting trial in 6 months cannot be given. So statute cannot be followed. This is the order available on the website. Takalki is the accused, that Praveen Takalki alias Praveen Mudali. So judge who is giving us sermons has given the same order. He is blaming trial court. This is what the double standard we are following in life. Supreme Court of India says for Pappu Yadav, reasoning must be given. They say reasoning has to be given, and otherwise people will have suspicion about the court. Tarun Deshpal, they passed the order. We have heard and we have decided that to give bail, 1 line bail is given to him. So this how to stop. Now, Presibi matter, Upadhyay rightly pointed out. We are giving Presibis. Across the bar, they are not taking our Presibis. They are rejecting. Some Presibis they are taking. After 2 years, same judges ask us, oh, so serious a matter, you didn't move. As an advocate, you are callous. Such a shamelessness some of the judges are showing. Now to change this, what system we can bring about? The least can be done is, High Court gives an acknowledgement for the Presibi, gives a number and tells us to go and mention it. So all Presibis will be on record. After 6 months, we will be able to see Presibi they have allowed, which they have not allowed. There will be some accountability. Otherwise, a 6-year-old child is raped. There is no urgency. And a film star actress is having some affair. There is a huge urgency because Mr. X, Y or Z appears. Now this must stop at once. And for that, only awareness can work. I think Mr. Zah has rightly held today's webinar. And it is not a way to, a forum to give speech. But we must keep on speaking. In fact, I would suggest Mr. Zah that when you do it, we should send you some questions in advance for brainstorming. And we can circulate on WhatsApp or something so that it can be discussed, not 1 or 2 people speaking or giving their views or some speech. So how to improve it? On that we should discuss. That's the only point which I want to make. That's all.
Punalekar, I am on record. Everything is getting recorded. I have some certain solution. You may find it very funny. Only the day the sitting judges will sit facing the wall, only then this will happen.
Facing the wall means what?
On the other side.
Send them to gallows.
No.
Facing the emblem behind.
Facing the emblem behind.
Subhaji, actually what he wants to say, like you said about contempt law. If the contempt law will prevail, if there are less contempts, if lakhs of people commit contempt, there is nothing. If one person commits something, it is indiscipline. If everybody does it, it is agitation. So we lawyers may have to sometimes think about this also. That if somebody does, it is indiscipline. If everybody does, it is agitation. So let us think of some agitation. That's what I believe in.
Okay, I think we are already overshot the time.
One second. Upadhyay wants to add something.
Now.
1 second, I'll
just unmute him.
1 minute.
And ask him to be a bit brief. No, you can't be. Upadhyay.
I'm unmuting him. Okay. You unmuted.
No, he has not.
Oh.
उपाध्याय जी अनम्यूट करिए आप. You unmute yourself, उपाध्याय जी.
हाँ, अभी आवाज आ रही है?
अब आ रही है. आप फिर से कहिए आप जो कहना चाह रहे थे.
अच्छा, देखो मैं सजेस्ट कर रहा हूँ, व्हाट आई एम सजेस्टिंग. आज जो लोग हम लाइन पे इतने लोग आए हैं, आज इतने लोग यहाँ पे हैं, मैं प्रॉमिस करता हूँ इतने लोग इकट्ठा हो जाइए. पूरे सिस्टम को हम सुधार सकते हैं. पाकिस्तान जैसी कंट्री में जहाँ कोई कानून कायदा तानाशाह कंट्री में, देखिए वहाँ चीफ जस्टिस को जब परवेज मुशर्रफ जब प्रेसिडेंट हुआ था तो दिया था, उसको हटाया था. को लाना पड़ा, दूसरी गवर्नमेंट आई, उसकी यहाँ पे क्या दुरुस्ता हुई. वकीलों में वो ताकत बता रहा हूँ हम लोगों में. हमें चीफ जस्टिस क्या, हाई कोर्ट सुप्रीम कोर्ट क्या है, हम पूरे देश को ठीक कर सकते हैं, गवर्नमेंट तक को हम ठीक कर सकते हैं. बट वी मस्ट कम टुगेदर विद राइट स्पिरिट, फाइटिंग स्पिरिट. और मैं बता दूं 2 लेटर हमने लिखा है. आई हैव एड्रेस्ड 2 लेटर्स. 1 लेटर टू देन चीफ जस्टिस, क्या नाम था उसका, बड़ा नाम बार भूल जाता हूँ मैं, जिसको हम लोग मिले थे, प्रदीप नंदराज जोग को. वो लेटर हमने लिखा है किस तरह से डिस्क्रिमिनेशन यहाँ पे होता है मेंशनिंग को लेकर के, कैसे यहाँ पे करप्शन होता है. मैंने यहाँ करप्शन डिपार्टमेंट में 25,000 का रेट हो गया है, 10 से 25,000 का रेट डिपार्टमेंट हो गया मैटर बोर्ड पे लगाने का. और क्लार्क, वकीलों के क्लार्क और डिपार्टमेंट के लोग मिलकर करते हैं काम. और आपका क्लार्क मैटर आपका नहीं लगा, पैसा क्लाइंट देगा तो मैटर लग जाएगा. घंटा एडवोकेसी हम करेंगे. हमारे पहले का मैटर फाइल हुआ है, मैटर हमारा नहीं लग रहा है. कोई दूसरा कोई मैटर फाइल किया, अमित देसाई आ गए, कोई और कोई XYZ आ गया, मैटर नेक्स्ट डे लग गया, जबकि हमारा मैटर से ज्यादा अर्जेंसी है. मैं अभी कहानी बता रहा हूँ. हमारा मैटर क्लाइंट 1 साल से अंदर है, कोरोना की गाइडलाइंस के लिए अप्लीकेबल है. मैं 4 से 6 बार प्रेस भी दे चुका हाई कोर्ट में. हाई कोर्ट से एक ही रिस्पांस आता है, दिस मैटर डज नॉट पर्टेन टू दिस बेंच, दिस कोर्ट, सिंगल लाइन का रिप्लाई आता है। मैं अभी बता दूंगा, उसको मैं फाइल किया, सेशन कोर्ट भी मैंने फाइल किया, अभी मंडे को मैटर रखा हुआ है। और यहाँ पे देखिए, ये जो फ्रॉड था, क्या नाम था इसका, जो वो बैंक वाला क्या नाम था, क्या उसका सरनेम क्या है, वो जो पकड़े
वाधवन
वाधवन का देखिए मैटर कैसा चल रहा है वहाँ पे डे टू डे बेसिस पर। क्यों हो रहा है भाई ये सब, कैसे हो रहा है ये सब बताओ, जिसके लिए हमको आवाज उठानी पड़ेगी। हमको वेबिनार करके छोड़ देंगे, कुछ होने वाला नहीं है। आप लोग साथ में आइए, बताइए, मैं चल के इस चीफ जस्टिस को मिलते हैं हम लोग, इनको काम करना पड़ेगा और सब बंद कर देंगे हम, जितना मनमानी यहाँ पे हो रहा है, डिस्क्रिमिनेशन, फेवरेटिज्म, नेपोटिज्म, करप्शन, and we must speak against corruption also. There are many judges in the High Court against whom we are having enough evidence to prosecute them, to frame charge against them. They cannot be even discharged. Let us fight against them also. एक बार मैसेज अगर हम भेजते हैं उनके खिलाफ, बता रहा हूँ, देखो कैसे लोग काम पे लग जाते हैं, कैसे काम करते हैं, दलाली मजा के दुकान बना के रख दिया हाई कोर्ट को। क्या बात करते हैं आप लोग यार, आप लोग बता दूं।
अच्छा
आप लोग साथ में आइए, बता रहा हूँ, मैं जिम्मेदारी लेता हूँ, कंटेंट मैं फेस करूंगा। बता दो, कोई लेटर लिखता हूँ, पहले मैं लेटर लूंगा, लेटर मैं साइन करूंगा, लिखूंगा इसमें तुम जज करप्ट है, यहाँ तक लिखूंगा कि जज इज वेरी मच करप्ट।
Most of us agree with your sentiments, but not with the words. Most of us agree with your sentiments fully. Most of us agree with your sentiments 100%, but not with the choice of words. Only thing, be a little careful.
आनंद, नहीं बता रहा हूँ ना, मैं बता दूं, लेटर में पहला मैं लेटर मैं साइन करता हूँ लेटर में। यार क्या बात करते हैं आप लोग, इनकी हिम्मत है। कंटेम्प्ट कहाँ है कंटेम्प्ट? तुम पहले करप्शन करो, तुम इनकॉम्पिटेंट, तुम करप्ट, तुम कैरेक्टरलेस, तुम हमारे पर कंटेम्प्ट करोगे, ये हमारी कमजोरी है, ये हमारी कमजोरी है, और बाकी कुछ नहीं है। हम अगर वकील सब एक जाओ में कंटेम्प्ट, क्या कंटेम्प्ट होता है? कंटेम्प्ट तो जजेज खुद अपना कोर्ट का कंटेम्प्ट करते हैं, सारे जजेज, वो सब जजेज।
ठीक है
आप देखिए जरा सा
उपाध्याय जी, मैं ये, क्योंकि क्या है, दूसरे
बात की है, और आप जिस तरह से एक चिंगारी से एक धमाका बनने जा रहे हो, ये तो शुरुआत है, और धमाका जरूर बनेगा। मुझे
क्या आवाज नहीं आ रही, क्या बोल रहे हैं? आई एम नॉट हियरिंग यू प्रॉपर्ली।
आपकी जो चिंगारी है वो धमाका जरूर बन जाएगी। मुझे
क्या बन जाएगा?
याद आ रहा है,
अरे आपने जो चिंगारी लगाई है ना, ये चिंगारी लगाई है ना आपने।
हाँ जी, हाँ जी।
चिंगारी आग के रूप में धारण कर लेगा, बहुत बड़ा।
उसका जरूरत है, उसका जरूरत समय आ गया, बता रहा हूँ आपको, समय आ गया है, और ये देश हित में, सबके हित में होगा। बता दो, आज जो दलाली चली है हाई कोर्ट में, उसकी वजह से मिलिटोरियस लॉयर जो हैं।
For a minute, I just want to stop you, Upadhyay ji. See what happened, and I'm speaking in English because many of I find somebody from South also. Many people may not understand that very well. See, all the bar associations which are expected to be the watchdog,
correct,
they have completely and miserably failed in performing their duties of being the watchdog.
They are completely spineless.
They are spineless, absolutely right. So therefore, we some of the lawyers, who can, we have to muster. It's a matter of number. It's a number game.
Correct.
So
correct.
If we are in large numbers, I think we will see to it that the things are taken to its logical conclusion. And why I fully agree with Upadhyay ji that things will improve. Things will, and we have done it. We have done it many times. When judges who would not know anything of criminal law was made to sit heading the bench, we four of us went met the Chief Justice and told them, what is this? This is no time to experiment with these judges who have no knowledge of criminal law. Why do you give them this kind of an assignment? So things will improve. I think we keep on having such Prashant, I thank you very much for arranging this kind of a program, and I hope you keep on arranging similar such programs in future and give us an opportunity to address. And there are many speakers.
And let us convert this into action also, not on this program and this.
Certainly, yes.
I remember Kista.
Should I do one thing? I am preparing a letter to be addressed to the present Chief Justice to reform this system, this online system, then mentioning system. Mentioning system should come to an end.
प्रशांत जी और सुभाष झा जी,
हाँ जी, हाँ,
सुभाष झा जी आपको संबोधित है, और प्रशांत जी को। पिछले 1 घंटा से ये जूम मीटिंग चल रही है रिगार्डिंग हाई कोर्ट सुप्रीम कोर्ट एडवोकेट्स, माई सेल्फ इंतखाब आलम एडवोकेट सुप्रीम कोर्ट। लेकिन जो लोग 2-4 लोग जो अपनी बात को, अपने व्यूज को रख रहे हैं, रेस्ट ऑफ द पर्सन जो है खामोशी से सुन रहे हैं। जब वो बार बार हैंड को खड़ा कर रहे हैं तो उनको बोलने का मौका देना चाहिए। प्रशांत जी लगातार उन बातों को इग्नोर करते रहे। हमने कहा है कम से कम स्क्रीन पे नाम भी आ जाना चाहिए कि वहां पर आना चाहिए, लेकिन वो जो जबर है कि अब मिस्टर राव साहब के हम सुनना चाहते थे उनका पटवर्धन जी को जरा कि क्या व्यूज है उनके, पूरे व्यूज आ नहीं सके। हम कर्मकार जी को सुनना चाहते थे जो अच्छे व्यूज रखते हैं। हम पुनः लेकर जी को बहुत अच्छा सुने। बहरहाल ये और सबसे ज्यादा गर्मजोशी से घनश्याम उपाध्याय जी ने अपनी बात को रखने का काम किया। लेकिन सच्चाई ये है कि जो पहल आपने किया है सुभाष जी और प्रशांत जी ने, ये सराहनीय है, ये आपको स्वागत योग है। और हम लोग चाहेंगे कि इस तरह की बातों को जो आज देखने को मिलता है सुप्रीम कोर्ट हो या हाई कोर्ट में हो, हमारी स्थिति बद से बदतर है, लेकिन ये कहने से नहीं होगा। इसको सुधार करने के लिए हम ही आपको आगे आना होगा। हम अपने आप को बनाया है, हमने अपनी स्थिति को स्वयं बदतर बनाने का काम किया है। हम पीछे पीछे चलने की आदि बन गए हैं। इसलिए उन बातों को ध्यान में रखते हुए, संज्ञान में लेकर के आप इस नेतृत्व को सुभाष जी संभालिए। प्रशांत जी का आयोजन रहा है, मैं तो नया आदमी आपके एक ग्रुप में देखा कि ऐड कर लिए, तो हमने याद था कि 5 बजे था, 5:30 पौने 6 में मैं ज्वाइन किया। मैं बीच में आपको इंटरप्ट किया हूं, इसलिए सॉरी चाहता हूं, लेकिन आइंदा इस मीटिंग को हो और ढंग से हो। सुभाष जी की बात को हमने बहुत ध्यान पूर्वक सुना है। धन्यवाद।
बिल्कुल सर, बिल्कुल।
आपको बताऊं, हमने जिस तरह से इस प्रोग्राम को कंडक्ट किया है
जी,
कम से कम हाई कोर्ट और इवन सुप्रीम कोर्ट
जी,
इसका 50% भी करना शुरू करें तो कोर्टों की फंक्शनिंग बहुत इम्प्रोवाइज हो जाए। आनंद आनंद और केवी जे राव काफी देर से इंतजार कर रहे हैं, उनको जरा एक मिनट सुन लेते हैं जरा।
हाँ, बेशक सुनना चाहिए।
आनंद को लेते हैं पहले।
मेरा नाम कम से कम ऊपर स्क्रीन पे प्रशांत जी डलवा दीजिए।
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल।
वो आपको करना पड़ता है,
प्रशांत नाम डालिए,
आपको करना है।
प्रशांत जी को
आपने जहाँ पे Vivo 1904 लिखा है ना, उसमें आपको नाम डालना पड़ता है अपना।
अच्छा।
I think we have any more questions, any more suggestions?
I think we need to have, continue, have one more, because I think now people have started thinking we need to have this percolate further into bullet points, what we want and what we expect and how things should move. I think it has been a good discussion, but we need to take it a little further with maybe one more round, or if required another round, where we can make these bullet points, and that would be a better way of taking it forward, maybe one by one.
Anandji, consider this as getting what are the problem or pain points. The next session maybe what are the solutions.
Yeah, can we take Mr. Rao? Yeah, thank you, Anand. Thank you very much.
Mr. Rao.
What's the point?
I don't think he's online. I think.
No, you have to unmute him.
Yeah.
Mr. What is his name?
I'm Mr. Rao. Hi.
Yeah, hi, Mr. Rao.
Mr. Patwardhan, thank you for having this session in the first place. I basically appear partying person, and I've seen most of you all argue your matters in court. And I have been fighting the giant, which is the government of India and Air India. And I have been appearing before Justice More for quite some time. And I have found him to be very oblique. I have filed a complaint officially. I've even sought prosecution of Justice More. When
very good, Justice More of Bombay High Court?
Yes, please. Court number 40.
Very good.
I can circulate. I have sought sanction for prosecution from the President of India under the various sections. See, he has been very oblique, and most of the judges, I find sometimes they are scared when they see senior counsel or an ASG come. They don't want to listen to the other side also. They just have made up their mind before, even before. I've seen even good lawyers are not allowed to argue because samne wala is either a senior counsel or an ASG. They should give equal amount of time to both the parties to raise their issues, put their case laws. case laws देने के बावजूद भी if oblique orders are passed, then it is very shameful. आपने जैसे बोला उपाध्याय जी, it is right. But ये है कि who is going to bell the cat के चक्कर में हम लोग सब फंसे हैं.
No, Mr. Rao, you are right. You're right. This is not only.
Just see, I am very junior. I am not much senior. But I am ready to do anything. Just see, we must send. We have to send a strong message that will not allow any corrupt judge, incompetent judge, characterless judge to be on the seat of the justice.
I've seen Mr. Jha argue many times.
And we can do it.
I've seen Mr. Jha argue many times because I'm in court most of the time.
You must have seen me losing most of the time.
No, no, Mr. Jha, see, it is not a question of losing. At least if you put forward an argument and you are happy that you put forward your argument, the judge doesn't. Now, like in my case, I mean, 22 judgments, the More rights, I've read the judgment, and then he says, I want to take up 2 issues, when in one of the judgments, the Supreme Court held that agitating those 2 issues will amount to legislation by court. And then he tells me, if you're unhappy with my order, go to the Supreme Court. I said, but why are you forcing me to go to the Supreme Court?
Okay, so Prashant, I think we should.
I think we should.
Thank you for hearing me out. Thank you for hearing me out.
I think we should conclude. We have surely overshot the time.
I know.
Let us respect the time. The first.
I think let Mr. Upadhyay, he came a bit late. I think give him 2 minutes. I think he want to add something. We'll take him. Unmute. He will have to repeat the whole thing.
Yes.
He is in full flow.
Hello.
या उपाध्याय जी आपने क्या कहा किसी को समझ में नहीं कुछ सुनाई नहीं दिया
अभी सुनाई दे रहा है
ब्रीफली
सुनाई दे रहा है क्या
हाँ अब सुनाई दे रहा है
Just see, I have a list of few judges of the Bombay High Court against whom I have got in the material prima facie case with regard to their indulgence in corruption. Let us choose any of judge amongst those judges. Let us proceed against him or her, and then we must ensure that action is taken against him or her. Only one judge, I am telling you. Forget about all. Everyone will come on the right path. I am telling you. Everyone. This will go a very clear message amongst them. But we must ensure that action is taken. For that, we have to follow the matter with the Chief Justice of India, with the Chief Justice of Bombay High Court, and then the government authority, government PM, then law minister, then president. Just see how they are being changed. Only if we are able to do this only against one of the judges, then everyone will come on the right path. I am telling you.
Yes, we will.
I am taking this responsibility. I can disclose their name also. I have enough material. Just see, when judge will indulge in corruption, he will not
anyone at the moment.
Yes,
don't name now in this forum. But we will not spare anyone. Let a message be sent very loud and clear that we are not going to spare anyone who is corrupt.
Okay, I think we have come to an end of the discussion where everyone has a different view, but collectively we have the view that present situation of appointment of judges and its political interference has to stop. The favorism, the way the judiciary is functioning has to have certain different ways of functioning. And I from my bottom of my heart, I thank Mr. Subhash Jha for addressing or rather belling the cat. How do we go ahead in this? And we will have further discussions maybe offline on this, or maybe we can formulate a group where we can give us suggestions, and not only to the judiciary or Chief Justice of India, we can give suggestions to the government of India. Maybe it may file a review petition, we don't know. But as of now, with limited time which we had, I think we had a quite interactive session, and let us hope for further sessions on the same or other topics from We Legal. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Prashant, for conducting or organizing such a wonderful program. We the lawyers, at least we must conduct such programs and share our views so that our views could ultimately be taken to those who are at the helm of affairs. And this is how the system will change. Every action must follow thoughts. The thoughts will come first. And this is one such platform which has been created, and a wonderful opportunity which you have given to all of us to assemble. Let us keep on meeting in future, and let us keep on discussing in future how to resolve this vexed issues.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank
Over
you
and
very
out.
much.
Thank you,
Thank you all.
thank you, thank you,
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.